Good morning. Good morning. Holy crap! You guys like all showed up at one time, like a plague of locusts of information and greatness. Good morning. But yeah, I felt like I insulted you more than I just showed my affection. Let me say some more horrible things about you.
Leg of locusts.
No, we know what you meant.
How is everyone? How is everyone?
I'm all right. You know,
How are
living.
you?
I
How's
am
your icy
fucking tired.
Well,
I am
you,
super tired. Doug's coming over around at 11. We're going to watch a squatchy movie for 31 and 31.
nice.
But until then, we can go over whatever you guys would like to today. I am forced to buy a book I already own in a digital fashion because I can't find it in a digital fashion anywhere else. It's very frustrating.
Which one is it?
Adventures in Oz, Fantasy Role Playing Beyond the Yellow Brick Road.
Oh.
I have the physical book.
Well, I remember. I feel like I remember seeing that when we were moving books.
Yeah, it's a great book. I just need a digital copy.
Oh.
It frustrates me because it's like why they don't bundle books is beyond me, and it makes me very upset. Because now I'm paying for this book twice. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what happens. That's how they get you, isn't it? That's how
Sure.
they get you. How are you guys?
Bombus.
Surviving.
Good.
You know, times have been interesting with the cats and all. But
Has that not changed?
we thought they were fine, and then they weren't. So now we're back to keeping them separate and all that stuff. So we'll see. If,
Are you trying to say you have to keep them separated?
I do.
Why is this in Spanish?
Come on and fight.
That's literally like everything's in Spanish on this website all of a sudden.
That said, if anybody locally knows anybody who needs a really nice, sweet cat who just probably shouldn't be around other cats, I guess let us know.
Oh no, what's happening, Matt?
It's not what we want to do, but it's getting to seem like that might be the best way to go is to find Haggerty a new home. So we'll see. We haven't made the decision yet, but if the right person comes along and is like, "Hey, I don't suck. I love cats."
Oh no, Haggerty.
Yeah, I mean it's that or keep going like we're going and running the risk of him attacking Nigel. We're gonna try and reintroduce him again at some point here, but I want to put the feelers out.
Yeah, I get you.
And he's a great cat. He would be
for real.
He just doesn't want to be around other cats apparently right now, and that sucks.
Do you think it may be a little bit of like loss, like still going through the?
That does apparently happen when the makeup of the group shifts, and also the fact that we went from having 2 males and a female to just 2 males.
Turned into a giant dick swing contest.
Yeah, maybe a factor there. We're not 100% sure. Yeah, we're hoping we can get them back to normal. They were fine for like a day, and then the minute Danny tried to feed them, he just was like back on Nigel, and now it's 10
Matt,
seconds. So.
Matt, can I say something? And I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I certainly don't want to make it so you feel like I might be diminishing your situation.
Oh no.
Prince Valiant called me, wants his haircut back.
Damn, dude.
Ow.
Sorry. I saw your hair and I was just like, Matt's hair is growing on his sides and it's kind of Prince Valiant. Okay, there's the boy I was looking for. There's our boy.
No, I trimmed it on the sides and the back for my Halloween costume.
What's your Halloween costume?
I sent you a picture yesterday and nobody fucking acknowledged it.
Acknowledge me.
So here's the thing about our thing. I put a bunch of shit in there, and then 2 days later, people put the same bullshit in there, and I'll just be like, okay, I'm kind of mentally checked out then. So it's not anybody's fault. It's not that we don't care. It's just I think we're just like all. That's why I made a meme page in the Discord. So maybe you would stop just posting memes constantly in our regular ass chat and filling it up with bullshit that like only I care about. So yeah, I mean, don't feel bad. I'll have to go back and look at it.
I don't. I can always send it out. We'll get more pictures. I'm sure.
Are you Prince Valiant for Halloween?
Yeah.
Are you really? Fuck yes.
No, nobody. Hey, nobody, even fewer people would know who that was probably than what I actually was.
I kind of like Prince Valiant, so
I don't have a problem with Prince Valiant, and Prince Valiant is probably what inspired Etrigan.
Yeah. So I mean,
wise.
So I mean, you got that going for you.
Got that, yeah.
Which is nice.
So yeah, James, you seem to have a bit of an agenda. What would you like to?
Yeah, make your agenda known, my friend.
Mostly, I just love if you guys wanted to sign off on.
But what if we don't?
Bad boy. Well, then we'll change it before it goes out.
I mean, I guess if you want to, I mean, the only thing with mine is I got to confirm because there may be some family stuff that day that I'm trying to work around.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's an earlier slot or a slot on a different day that would work to switch that all out of bubblegum.
Do you want to explain? Do you want to explain what you've got there, brother?
Sure. Yes. So, behind
also, hello, Shaggy. I didn't acknowledge Shaggy, and Shaggy deserves acknowledgement.
Yes. I'm sorry. I don't have the comments up. I'm way behind.
I said it might even
Thomas!
be Shaggy.
Yes. James did the right thing and acknowledged Shaggy.
Yes. You guys acknowledge him. Acknowledge him.
So yeah, anyway.
Acknowledge Shaggy.
The look behind the curtains is usually it starts off with me trying to like just put all of the things in a chunk with some timing generally and see where we are. And then the last couple of years we've had kind of a separate sign up with like descriptions you can hover over as we're signing up with games. And then we have the overall schedule with links, but there are some folks that were confused about this last year, and so I was trying to streamline it based on feedback. Is
this Danny as Trapper?
Willie.
As Willie, okay.
Yes.
Who's the other person?
That's me.
Fuck you. That's not you.
That's totally me.
You Lon Chaney the fuck out of this. I cannot tell that's you. I'm serious. Oh my God, Matt. I cannot tell that's you. It looks it's unrecognizable.
Well, I guess that's probably good because I don't want to look like
holy shit. I don't think if you put that in a lineup, I'd be able to see if that's you.
Time to do some crimes.
Wow. It's a great set of costumes, I will say.
Well, thank you. I knew you'd appreciate that.
Fuck me, that's really good. That's disturbingly good.
And I only wanted to put it in there because it's the same as, we're doing Christie's thing this coming weekend, which is cryptid themed. So we wanted to not to spread.
Damn, Matt, that is a wild ass costume.
It was interesting. That's actually a dress that I'm wearing.
Oh my God.
It's just tucked into my pants. So
as you do. I mean, who hasn't tucked a dress into their pants before? James, I'm sorry. I interrupted the fuck out of you.
Fine.
I was just completely enraptured by our friend becoming a master of disguise.
No, it took me a couple minutes yesterday, but then I also I don't know who
what the reference
I don't really have context for it. I assume
they're both good. You have too many teeth though, Matt.
Well, I could black out more next time.
For the true effect, you've got about 10 too many teeth. God damn, Matt. Fuck me. Seriously. Not in a million years would I have gotten that.
I mean, I suppose I've mostly had facial hair since you've known me, so that probably helped.
Well, I mean, except for now, but I mean, it looked good on you. I just was like, it's more just like the lack of hair and just the biggest grin in the history of grins.
Yeah,
which
I mean,
is
it's all
very Wild Bill.
Around and just shoved under that hat. So,
I mean, the smile is very Wild Bill. I mean, it does look like you are married to your sister in that picture, but it doesn't change the fact that holy shit, you just look real different.
Yeah, I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
But I don't know why I thought Danny was Trapper. I should have guessed Wild Bill. Willie.
Well, we just decided because they're a pair, you know.
Yeah, they're like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, they're a finely tuned unit. Back to the schedule. You've thoroughly derailed James.
Oh my God! You just said they're a finely tuned unit, and I just was like, "Really? Are you sure you want to say that?" Oh my God! Woo! I just had coffee almost come out my nose. It burns so bad. Okay, sorry. I'm back. I'm straight. Everything's good. Jesus. Did we like take a week off last week? I don't even remember.
We did.
What a fucking mess.
I think what did you zomboid last week? Maybe.
I think I might have Minecraft last week.
Okay.
I can't remember, one or the other. If I zomboided, it was the time where by the end our safe house got bombed because we were playing day one. It was just like every time you die, it starts over. So the bombing starts again. And I was like, well, this fucking sucks. So I'm trying to figure out a way to turn that off. James, I am so sorry. I just keep fucking steamrolling you. And
right. Matt, if we swapped you and Ben,
like also I can't read that, so I mean,
that should be fine if people are cool with that.
You can do whatever you need to do for me, James, because I mean, I'm easy like Sunday morning.
I mean,
is that better?
Yeah. Kind of. My eyesight just sucks. It's not you, it's me.
Well, I know but I can read it either way. So making it bigger so that you can also.
Oh, I can read that really good. Thank you.
Okay. So maybe we move Oz, the Weird and Wonderful to 2 p.m. and move All Out Bubblegum to 11. Does that get you early-ish, or is that still?
No, that should be fine, because then, you know, I mean, and honestly, if you wanted to just do All Out of Bubblegum, you know, make that like an hour slot or something, and then then Oz
you can give me an extra hour.
Can fill in there. That should work quite well with what I am aware of for our potential schedule.
Okay. So let's make this.
I don't know whose noise that was, but it was sonorous.
We'll give it 2 hours.
Just buy the stuff again.
We'll give it 2 hours just in case.
Okay.
We'll see if I can be up.
Yeah, that should be just fine.
Okay. And then Ben, for you, I have Mountain Monsters with that's our prime time.
You gotta read the whole thing. Don't just
Mountain Monsters, the Alabama White Thing at 7 p.m. Put Duke at Anyone Can Wear the Cape. I gotta figure out what I can play in and what I need to where I need to sleep. But I figured if I put that at 10, then that would give you time to wrap up Mountain Monsters and maybe play in that, and have a little break before your annual Spook Troop to be late night watch along, which I put on the first night rather than the second night.
Okay. Yeah, we got to figure out what we're watching too.
And then I have DC Showcase presents Whatever Happened to the Man Who Lost Everything at noon on Saturday.
Hey, are you able to show the sign up so far so I know like how many?
There's no sign up so far.
Okay, cool.
I'm getting confirmation today from all of the game runners to make sure it's all in the right spot and the right number of people, and then it'll go out once that's confirmed. It'll go out to everyone who's running gets first crack at signing up.
Wow, that's a good idea, man. Real cool.
And then I think that tomorrow or Tuesday we'll open it up.
Okay.
So right now I have Mountain Monsters. I think that you said is 4 people, so I have 4 slots for that.
Yeah, I'm 5 is fine in anything. No more than 5.
Oh, I thought
you can put 4 there because Doug Doug gets 1 spot. So
yeah, I already put Doug in for that. And then
you can leave it at 4 more slots.
DC Showcase presents. I think you said
5 to 6.
Yeah, 5 to 6.
I'm running all the games I'm running are so streamlined. It should be so much simpler.
And then the zone has 5 slots because it's 1 to 6 total players on that.
You can put me in on that. I want it on the zone.
Yeah, I put you as lead for that one.
Are you playing in the zone again?
I don't think I can play because it overlaps with Dungeon Taskers. But if I was making everything else overlap, it's the only spot that I could put the zone in where you could.
It's a good idea.
Or I could run it. So depends on when that gets done, but I think that'll probably run past. So we had to play a little bit fast and loose with when people were doing stuff on Saturday night because it got a little dicey with how long different things were running and when Zach was running. So anyway, so I have you being the zone czar at 9, and then you can sleep after that. And then I put Jurassic Craft on Sunday morning. I tried to hold up.
You might just want to put Craft because we don't know because the OG mod, Jurassic Dawn era mod isn't working right now. But Doug did find a mod that is supposed to be a smaller version of that mod that might work in multiplayer. We haven't tested it yet, though.
All right, I'm just going to change that to Bad at Games Crafting Kids.
Okay. Thank you. I'm not sure.
And then Oz, Weird and Wonderful. And then I figure whenever that wraps up, we'll do the rap show and everybody can join in for that.
Okay. I just didn't know if you wanted to do. I thought we were going to do that on Monday night, and then
which one?
The rap thing instead of doing a game Monday night.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Whatever you want to do, though, it's not what I want to do. We can just take Monday night off too, because I got a feeling everyone's going to need it.
Yeah, we'll see where everything ends up. I think that's where things are right now. Colin said he could do this. I'm just going to call this Eustace, Colin joint. And so we know we have something.
Eustace ought to be.
Yeah. All right. So he'll do something in that spot. That pretty much has us covered. And then, Dave's doing his thing 5 to 5 again, Friday to Saturday. And I think that he said that he'd share the thing if anybody wants to jump on there. And then, yeah, I mean, I think that we have everything. And then I'm just going to put the links. I'll go through with all the StreamYard, with your StreamYard or the StreamYard and the StreamYard that I have for Extra Life. And I'll make sessions for all of the ones that we're running. And then we'll just make sure I tried to put all of the ones that you're running on this StreamYard account. And then the other one that I put together for Extra Life, I put like the things that I was going to be running on that, and then we can stream to either Known World or Known World Extra Life from either of them, I think. But I just need to check. So it'll just be the same thing that I did last year, where I make all the StreamYard links, and then people can just click into them, and we don't have to worry about it. So, yup.
Cool.
Sounds good.
That's it. So, and then, yeah, the only thing, Cassandra said she'd do the little like knitting or Legoing or just like hanging out thing again. So I put her in the same time slot as the morning. But when I send this out to everybody, I'll tag everybody in Discord. So if you just want to let her know to check that later today when I send it out, that'd be awesome. Then yeah, all out of bubblegum. I'll be ready to go. Cool.
Yeah, it's feeling good.
So
thank you, James.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all ready.
Doing the deal.
Do the deal. So yeah, I'll share this out, and everybody who's running can sign up for the stuff they want, and then we'll see what's got open slots. And I basically, like, if there's open spaces for a session, people want to like play games or stream or something to the second channel, there's still a couple of those, and one like crazy overnight one. Duke had said, maybe he'd do something in that slot, but he wasn't sure. And then
he's like 2 time zones behind, so
yeah, it makes it a lot easier for him to run from like 1 to 3 instead of us running 3 to 5. So yeah, and then Zach was doing something with donations or something for his Alien games. I don't really remember. Christy told me yesterday, and I was so tired. And then yeah, when this flips over, or if you have people that are playing in the game already, like I already populated Doug in for Mountain Monsters, and I put like you and Colin in for not that the Spook Troop like watch along has like a number of people. I mean anybody can watch along. So I guess that's actually not a game, that's content. Sorry, I'm trying to code these so like people know whether it's a game or whether it's a like we're watching something or we're hanging out or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's it.
James, as always, you've done an amazing job.
Thanks, buddy.
Shaggy, I did. It was great. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. I really appreciate it.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
All right. I think that's everything. So yeah, I'll share this out with all the members, and that's really, I mean, that's the big thing for today.
Nice.
Well, I am working on my Oz thing a little bit today. If anyone wants to, I don't know if anyone's playing in that game or not.
I probably need to check. I may end up trying to, if that gets swapped to later in the day, I might take a break there, because I'm trying to do. So, all right. Well, I'll say this. I think that the way that we've run Extra Life has been highly successful for a long time. But I think the success of it and the timing of it has gotten to the point where it's really difficult for me to coordinate and like run games and prep games. And I think that this is the last year I'd like to run RPGs and coordinate. I think that it's worth continuing to like play games and to do other things, or to like, you know, come up with a new methodology for it. But I think it's just, I don't think that any of us really have the capacity. And for me, I think it's a lot of work. And it happens at such a hard time that it's like, I don't have nearly as much fun as I used to as a result, because I feel like I'm coordinating more than I'm like
playing
or running.
And so I think that we should keep doing this if we want to do it, but we should do like video games and other things that are easy. And like, if we want to raise funds for this or for anything else, I think we should look at their other, you know, like their summer spots where I like have some bandwidth. Because I think that, you know, they do a board game day and they do a RPG day. You know, it's not like we ever followed the rules and, you know, play. I mean, it's not until, you know, like whatever Critical Role got big that people actually started not playing video games for this, but playing other things, you know.
The other thing too is, I mean, again, not that that's the goal or the point or whatever, but it would keep us from having to, you know, compete, air quotes, with Dave.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's unfortunate that we're doing that at the same time as David, because I think David gets more traction overall. But I don't know when to be like, hey, Dave, you should do this.
Well, no, I mean, but it's
I think Dave. I mean, that would be the other. That I think. I mean, James has a point in that, at least for him. Maybe for the rest of us, there's at least currently there's really not any real difference. But at least for him, if he's going to continue in the role he's kind of been in, this is not a great time of year for that.
No, I mean, it's midterms, and there's like 2 conferences that usually take place this time, and you know, like my midterm grades are due next year or next week, and then I'm
not disagreeing with you.
And then but I think that the other thing is like it's gotten to the point where there's so few of us that are actually fundraising that like it is an issue that like, you know, that like basically the people that are pulling from the same pools are like our very tight knit group of friends that, you know, it's we're pulling from the same pool, you know, which is the issue, you know, whereas in the first 5 years, you know, I mean, you had everybody from like Killer Cassie and, you know, Alyssa and, you know, Mike, and, you know, like it was a much broader pool, right? You know, like we were tapping into other things, but, you know, really the last couple of years, you know, we've had amazing additions like Matt and, you know, and you know, and David starting to do, I mean, it's only the 3rd year he's done this, you know, he like inked around and had a really weird like D&D game that was like super hard to shoot, and we thought we had it set up, and then there was an issue with it, you know. I mean, so I think that it's yeah, time to do something different. We also, you know, I don't like the like we set out what we accomplished to do, but we've raised over $100,000 in 10 years, which is pretty phenomenal. And I think that, you know, we've talked in the past about it, and, you know, like where does money go for Twitch if, you know, people subscribe, or where does it go for this? And it's like, you know, at a certain point we kind of punted on a bit of, you know, of that as well. And so I think that, you know, if there's other causes that are important to us, or there's other things that we could be doing, it might be fun to, you know, have it more spread out throughout the year.
Well, the other thing too, I suppose, is I know, like you, James, you're doing more in-person stuff.
Yeah, trying to.
Well, right, but
yeah,
to do in-person things throughout the year, record them, edit them, and then air them during Extra Life weekend, where we could be around in the chat or whatever to interact with people and not have to run and fundraise at the same time, sort of deal. I don't know. I'm just throwing.
No. Yeah, I mean, these are all things that I think that we've all said out loud in the past. I think it's just I've gotten to the point where I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Well, and that's, I mean, good on you for realizing that and verbalizing it, because it's a hard thing sometimes.
Yeah. So I think it also allows us to have a bit of that narrative and talk about that with everybody and say, like, hey, this is gonna be our last year doing it the way that we're doing it, so let's really it's at a very precipitous time with everything else. I also, honestly, when it's election year and this is happening right before or right after, it's just my anxiety is already through the roof, just on a daily basis, and it always feels very weird to be asking people for money at a time that people are feeling crunched and obligated to I don't know, defend the
existence of our nation.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I have spoken.
And, nothing we need to decide today, obviously, but I think it's good to start the discussion.
Yeah. And it's just a lot, it's a lot of doing a lot of stuff and then putting it out there, and sometimes it's good, but like you guys said, sometimes you put stuff out there and it's just radio silence, and it's because everybody has stuff going on and it's busy and people are have their own lives. I just think that it would be so much easier if we did it when people had a little bit more bandwidth or a little bit more flexible. So, yeah. I don't know, Ben, how are you feeling? I dragged you all into this 10 years ago.
Well, I mean, sorry, I'm trying to multitask. From a purely, I want to take care of my friend and I want to make sure that you're okay, and I want to make sure that you're healthy, happy, and safe, it's the best course of action. And I think it isn't a matter of if it needed to happen, it's that it needs to happen now.
Yeah.
From a standpoint of someone with GAD and who is currently in the mode of freaking out over stuff pretty much on a consistent basis, I fucking hate it because I don't know what that means.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like it's cranked my anxiety through the roof because I feel like we didn't, you and I hung out yesterday?
Yeah.
No, 2 days ago, and I had no idea that was going to happen today. So I'm kind of can't wrap my brain around it because I'm just also freaking out because I have 2 interviews tomorrow. One's a second interview, so my brain is scattered horribly. And I just spent $20 on a book I'd already spent $40 on previously.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of it's not irrational. I hate it. It's irrational. It's irrational. I hate it. But I think if we have a schedule of events that we do throughout the year, and that we maybe that's what we do the next prep school after Extra Life is okay, well, let's think about how we want to do this.
Yeah.
We did that a couple preps ago. It's like, hey, what do we want to do like going forward? What are some ideas we want to do of games we want to do? I think if we maybe like figure out like you said, like do other things that Extra Life supports. I think that's a good idea. I mean, we've talked about doing some different things. Like one thing that I want to utilize to fundraise is to put out like, hey, that fat bastard who loves Icy Hot will run a game for like you and up to 4 of your friends for like up to 6 hours, a one shot, but it's going to cost you $200 to fucking Extra Life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So get your boys together and your gals together and your non-binary friends together and pool your money and let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
But like I would love to do stuff like that. And I would love to see like us doing some podcast games again.
Yeah.
Because like not everyone wants to stream. I think James, you've grown to be like pretty loathful of it. Just because I think it's such a production, and I think you also feel like you don't get the best game experience out of that.
I like doing it. I just don't have the people. I mean, and this is the issue. It's not that I don't enjoy doing this or I don't think it's productive, but like when it boils down to it, there's less than 10 of us basically that fundraise and play in more than one game.
I'm not even talking about the Extra Life.
No, I'm talking about generally though. You know, like when you look at our pool is not the pool it used to be. And that's just the reality, right? You know, like, so for me to run a game with the same people that you're also running, you know, 2 other games with, and that we're all kind of like running the same people. It's also like, how many times do people want to watch the same group of people play a different game? You know, and if you're already doing it well, you know, the motivation for me to run something with basically the same crew of people, you know, I
don't know if we have the same crew as much. I think we share like Ryan in common and Nate.
Yeah, but when you only have 3 or 4 people in a group, you know, a 50% overlap is a 50% overlap. I'm not trying to like say, but even still, right? Even if we only share 2 people, that means that the total group, including you and I, is 8 people, you know, for 2 or 3 games. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that like the streamability of it, or the reason to stream, to me is that question, you know, that I asked my brother and that we've talked about a lot, is like, what are we getting out of streaming? Or what are we able to leverage that towards? You know, if it's leveraging people towards Extra Life, I mean, that was the original reason, you know, to kind of keep streaming throughout the year, is like, oh, well, we keep this on people's radars.
Yeah.
You know, we keep our channels in the algorithm type thing. But, you know,
but I think we have different views on that though too. Like, I just like being able to hang out and play with my friends, and you know, and the bonus of it is like, oh, you know, hopefully people then see it and go, oh yeah, these assholes do Extra Life too.
Yeah.
Like I don't look at it so much as like the transitory property of social capital, I guess. But like, I know that is also going on at the same time, but it's, you know, not what I'm really that into. But you know, that's fine too. I mean, I think if it does both, that's even better. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But I want to get across, like, if you're not having fun doing that stuff, don't do it. You know?
Yeah. I don't know that it's, I don't know. I'm tired, and I think that's what it boils down to.
Well, and we've got, I mean, there's a lot just going on right now too. And this is always something that, you know,
if it ain't fun,
Danny and I'll talk to each other about, where it's like, yep, we're feeling these things. There's probably outside, you know, things that are contributing to how we're feeling in this case, but it doesn't make what we're feeling any less valid.
Yeah,
It just
man.
we're feeling
Exactly.
it more or differently than we might otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, if this ain't fun anymore, Chucky T, you know, it's you know, you've always said that, and I think that the difference between me and you when it comes to this stuff is like you are super busy, and you've got, you know, stuff that you're trying to handle, and your time is different now. Like your time is now like divided in ways it wasn't previously.
Yeah.
Mine's not. Like my shit stays the same, baby.
Yeah, you never know, man.
You could be the fine owner of a new cat named Haggerty.
I wish. Cassandra's got cat allergy. I wish, man.
Well, I'll drop them off.
I'm dying for an animal. But you know, that's the thing, dude, is like you've always been the voice of reason when it comes to that. Always.
You don't know. I mean, you don't know what the future holds for you right now, Ben. I mean, it's stressful, I know, but I mean, and hopefully everything
It's gonna hold a job.
Turns out great.
But I determine like what that job is, you know.
Right, but you don't know what that's gonna, you know. You don't know what's gonna be yet.
Well, the jobs I will take, everyone knows it's going to be, you know, day hours, Monday through Friday. I ain't working no more nights. I'm not working no more weekends.
But you know, just
I am not on call anymore. I don't do that. I did that shit for, you know, 15 years. I don't do that shit.
Oh yeah, no, it's not worth. But you know, just in terms of how it you know impacts the rest of your work.
Hey, I will say this: the job I'm doing my second interview for Monday, where they were like, "Hey, can you?" Literally wanted me to come in Friday, but the person who would make that decision was off. Their philosophy is a lot like when I worked at JFCS. I don't need your best. I just need you to work. You know, those people who you're supporting, you know, the whole mission statement is to end homelessness. Those people don't need you to be, you know, grade A beef every day. They just need you to show the fuck up and do your work. I'm good at that. I'm good at doing the work. I'm a steady Eddie when it comes to that. And, you know, they were talking about soft skills with people, especially people with disabilities. I'm fucking excellent at that. And I'm really good at teaching it, which is another thing why I think they're not going to offer me the job that I applied for. I think they're going to be like, hey, do you want to do training for us? Which I would love to do instead of doing case management. But I'll do either one. I can do either one. I'm good at both. I think I'm a little bit better at training than I am case management, but that's especially the case management they're talking about where it's very, 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 very hands off. Which also, you know, hey, maybe that's good. But now I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket, but it would be a good job.
And you know, pull
but,
for
but like I said, like
if for nothing else, then to just not have to worry about it.
Yeah, some of this shit like that we do, and I get frustrated by it and all that too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get burned out by it. But some of it is just like, this is my regular shit. Like, if I don't have my regular shit, then my other stuff gets exacerbated and I don't do as well. It's selfish in that way. Like, if I don't have like those things on the calendar, like I had no interest in doing this morning, but it was like, well, it's on the calendar. And if nobody shows up, we already took 1 week off, so we have to show up. And as soon as we got here, I was like, oh, fuck, this is going to be good. You know, my friends are here and we're going to do this thing and it's going to be great. And then I had to spend $20 and I got enraged. But, you know, I need this as much as and you know what? And I'll say it, and I don't care if he finds out I said it or not. Colin needs this shit. You know, he desperately does in some cases. You know, he has said in the past, and I don't think I'm breaking, you know, any type of confidentiality between friends, that this October has been a godsend.
Yeah.
To watch movies and talk about them, you know. And Shaggy, we really appreciate that, by the way, if we don't say it enough. There's a reason, like, I'll just jump on and play games. I don't want to sit and think about the situation that I'm in, and sometimes I don't want to watch a movie because my body's like not real happy right now. It's better than it was, by the way. But I don't know what I was saying.
Well,
I was saying words and they just ran away.
No, the consistency is important.
But I also understand it's not important for everybody else. They have different things.
Yeah.
Like that's why I always tell you, Matt, like if you can't, don't. Like
and I don't.
Yeah, and I love that about you. And Beard, I mean, the reality is you carried everything. You have carried everything in like when it comes to the behind the scenes stuff. You had people, but I think it just got to the point where it's like if you want it to be the way that you feel it needs to be done, you have to do it. There was almost like it was too many kitchens in the cooks.
Yeah,
I mean that is a
cooks
problem.
It's like Griffin said on that episode of Mim earlier. He said it's all about wealth and hellness. And they're like, we need to put that on a shirt.
If you've ever been a cook, you can only have so many kitchens in you. It's that's just facts.
Yes, it is facts. But I think that's a big deal. Like, and it needs to be recognized as well. And sometimes you just gotta pass it around and be like, okay, well, I will do this month or this for this event, but I'm not doing that shit in fucking November. Because that's the one where it gets off the rails because it's just too many people.
Yeah.
So, and you also want things to go a very particular way. You have a vision for things, and it's like, it's going to go that way. I'm far looser when I do stuff, and it's like, if you don't do shit, you don't do it. Period. But if you don't do it, then I will also be the guy who's like, well, you didn't do that shit you said you were going to do, so I'm not going to trust you to do this other shit because I'm my qualifications are looser, my penalties are harsher. Let's put it that way. That's why if I can't do something, I just don't do it. I don't say I'm going to do something and then have to not be able to do it because I feel like shit about it.
I mean, that's the important thing,
Yeah, but if I say I'm going to do it, I'll do it. I might not do it to the best of my abilities sometimes. See today. But I'll do it. So, I mean, I think it's just, we all have different ways of doing shit, man. And don't ever have to apologize for saying, like, I can't do this anymore. This weight has gotten too fucking heavy with all the other weights I've added to my fucking plow. And you're doing work. I know what kind of work you do. And I know what kind of man you are. I know what kind of human you are. I know what kind of husband you are. Because we were basically married for like 3 years. And I know what kind of father you aspire to be, both with, your fur babies and with your now with your daughter. So, dude, if this is it, this is it. Be proud of what you did.
Yeah. Just
be like, hey, brothers and sisters, I'm retired.
Yeah.
I'm retired.
Yeah.
We had to retire for fucking basically because of pandemic, but we had to basically retire from doing shows and commentary.
Yeah.
There was other qualifications. It wasn't just but it was like, that's how the shit works,
Yeah.
You'll move on to greater adventures. Because I know in like a year to 2 years, you're going to be like, hey, we're doing this thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. And you'd be like, yeah, but I already signed us up. And I'll be like, fuck me. And then we'll have fun.
It's not even that I don't think that we should do it in November. I think that it's like we should do this and we should do it kind of like Dave does it, where we do things at different time and we just do video games in November. Because video games, you don't have to prep. I mean, I think that's the problem is like
the amount of,
If I was just doing coordination and I wasn't running or playing in anything, that'd be fine. But like, I also know that like I'm good at raising money. And it's a lot harder to do that when you go, hey, I'm coordinating things behind the scenes and go and watch all these other games. Well, and you won't see my face anywhere. I think
that's where it comes down to then defined roles. I know we tried to do that once and it was a shit show.
I mean, we've tried to do it year after year.
I think that's where it's got to be like, listen, I'm doing fundraising. That's all the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Who's going to coordinate?
Yeah.
You know, and I know my demeanor helps when it comes to assigning those roles because I don't care if I hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, oh, he's going to do this. And what are you doing?
Yeah.
No hemming and hawing. No, like, don't say I'm good at these 3 things. What are you good at? Decide.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like, if that's what we need to do, that's what we do. But I mean, we do need to figure that out. And I think sitting down and going, okay, well, they have a calendar. Let's see, what can we work with in that calendar?
Yeah.
I would love to do like we talked about. I would love to do some fucking core space and some Frostgrave and things like that, and record it, and then like, you know, if someone wants to show me how to do video editing, that's great. Or if someone wants to edit it together, and then we can put like a narrative over the top of it. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever watched other channels who do like battle reports. I would prefer we did that and like cut out all the chit chat unless it's funny, and instead like just have someone narrate over the top of it, or and then do little like fucking encapsulated interview stuff right afterwards, where it's like, you know, whoever it is, hey, Super Spike. Like let's say you and I are playing, and then it's a, you know, it's just a shot of one of us sitting there and going, yeah, I knew at that point I was fucked. And that was the point where he did this, and I knew I was like, oh, that's bad. That's bad for me. You know, I love stuff like that. I think it would be fun for people to see us playing other games. You know,
Yeah.
I've got so many cool big board games we haven't played.
Yeah.
You know, I have the Motu game. We haven't touched it. I have Core Space. Doug and I played it twice. It was great. And it's such a narrative-driven game that you can tell stories while you're basically playing what is the equivalent of, you know, Frostgrave in a lot of ways, like go find treasure, leave, you can fight if you want, but you don't have to. Frostgrave is one of my favorite games of all time. I've played it maybe 10, 12 times. I love it though. So games like that, you know, even doing a dumb thing like a tournament of some smaller game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to fucking play X-Wing. I would love to play X-Wing, and then on the video have someone superimpose stupid helmets on us. You know, and then talk about like, oh, Red 5. Fuck Red 5. He was terrible anyway. You know, just have fun. You know, games that can have some narrative to it at the same time, so the narrative part becomes something that can move forward. I love that. Like I think those are good things we can do. I would love for us to get together like a group of 5 people and do solo games like Captain's Log, and then just narrate them together. You know, we can do lots of weird stuff. I think it's just a matter of like figuring out the weird, and then who's going to take charge of that.
Well, there's the potential too with stuff like that to maybe get people outside of the normal group where it's like, no, you can just do this thing when you have time. As long as it's before X.
Yep. I just need one a week.
Or something like that. And then
That's one reason like I stopped doing all that extra shit for them for DNO and then for Chaos Guards, because it was like, it's like on top of doing this, I'm gonna do all this other extra stuff, and then you know what? Don't give a fuck about that extra stuff. But if what we're putting up is just all the extra stuff, I think people would be like, "Oh wait, this is kind of fun. It's weird and different." And the big thing is like, let's do something different. Like, let's just, like you said, like you ain't got time to run a fucking game with the same 5 people, the same game that 50 other people are doing streams of.
Yeah.
I was joking with Danny, but I didn't completely mean it as a joke. We were watching VCR Party, and it's Hunktober, so they're pulling out all their weird, you know, VHS tapes of, you know, male strippers and stuff like that. But there's some like Canadian male oil wrestling tape or whatever, and I'm like, if we just had like some of those matches and got the heel turn guys to do commentary on them as if it was like legit, but it's just dudes in oily Speedos.
I talked to James about this, a couple weeks ago? I was like,
hilarious.
I talked to James about this a couple weeks ago. I was like, we should find some shit matches online and do commentary, but do it like seriously.
Yeah.
Like, even if the matches are bad, we can do the famous, like, oh, we didn't get all of that. You know, when you see something like it's a total botch, but just like for funsies. Yeah. Oh man, Shaggy, God damn it. If your friends don't bomb us, then they're no friends of mine. But like we talked, I would still like to do. I mean, I know we threw out some ideas for like different things like heel turn, HEAL. And by the way, Beard, I don't know if you saw it in our Loogie chat, but there is one person in there who would literally shit their pants if we'd started doing heel turn again.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh God, oh God. I would love to do that. We talked about a couple other things. We still talk about doing meet and greet. And what if we just taped it and then just cut it together like Soup Troop? I don't think we're going to do for fucking Extra Life, but I thought that was a brilliant idea and very funny. And if we did it, like, I would be like, oh, what's everybody making? I'd watch it just to see what everyone else is fucking making. So, I mean, like, there's stuff like that. We got, that's the thing. We have between not just the three of us, but between the extended fam, we have too many good ideas. So it's just a matter of finding ways to put them into play and then just going, we're doing this and actually doing it. Like, I got some real nice messages from Chris over Friday and a little bit of yesterday. And I tried to get back to him, but I missed him. But a lot of it was like, hey, y'all need to just keep doing stuff. You know, you're doing fun stuff. And, you know, people like it. Just do more fun stuff.
Like it very much.
I like it very much. I like boot blacking very much. And if a guy like Chris is telling you that, I feel like it's a pretty good like impression.
You're doing all right.
Yeah. You know, it's the same thing why I didn't give up on Chaos Scar when it got down to like running an episode for 2 people and was just like, I'm so depressed. It's because like other people, like, you know, Zane and the other Chris were like, hey, are you still doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, or Zane even reaching out and going, if I potentially got some people together and wanted to have you run, would you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I paid you. And I was like, well, you don't have to pay me. Like, I would totally do that.
But you can.
Yeah, but you can. You know, those guys are in a business where they have to like think outside the box and do stuff, you know, interesting things. And because otherwise they're just another local promotion. And we both know that those things live and die by money. So, I mean, I think, you know, doing stuff like that is fun. And I agree. Like, doing more video games. Like, I watched Nurse last night. And she did a live episode where she set up and did a dry run for her Zomboid server. And it was a fucking disaster. But it was a disaster that I could not look away from. So yeah, I mean, meet and greet, we'd have to find some guests, and maybe your first guest is just people we know, like your brother or Matt or whoever.
Yeah.
If we had a second smoker, we could almost do it like between 2 Verns.
Yeah.
I mean, which I think would be funny, but I still think you need to do between 2 Verns as just a thing, and we only show one like once every quarter.
Yeah.
You know, I think we just fuck it. Let's do weird shit. We love weird shit. Let's do weird shit.
We do love weird shit.
I just want to find something, Beard, that makes you so hyped to do it that you will like, I will burn shit to the ground to do this.
Yeah.
Because I think when you find that, your feeling is so infectious that you're like a Pied Piper. People are just like, oh, Beard's in on this shit. Like, they'll do what I tell them to, but it's more out of fear.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If I'm like, we're doing this thing, people go, oh, well, I don't know. Like, we're doing this fucking thing. And they'll go, okay. I don't want you to be upset about this, so I'll do it. Whereas you'll be like, hey, we should do this cool thing. And they'll be like, what's the cool thing? And you'll be like, it's this amazing thing that no one's ever done before. It's the greatest thing ever. And myself included will just be like in rapt attention. Okay.
Yeah.
And I am the biggest pushback person. A lot of times I'll be like, I don't want to do this. And you'll be like, yeah, but I already signed this up. And I'll be like, I don't want, but I didn't want to. And you'll be like, too late, we're doing it. And what happens? I go, okay.
Yeah.
You're great at that. You're a master facilitator.
Try it, you'll like it.
Yeah, you're a master baiter. You get people involved in things, and you know what? You get people involved in things, in all honesty, that they may be reluctant to do at the beginning, but it's always stuff that's for a good reason. And that good reason might just be, let's have fucking fun. So dude, I'm imploring you. Decide what's fun for you.
Hell yeah.
Because that's all, baby. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Amen.
Well,
no. Look at me. I love you.
All right.
What's that? That's the Vicky Boss ending whenever she does. I don't know if you guys ever watch Vicky Boss or not.
No,
she's fucking hilarious.
I mean,
that's how she ends every little thing she does. She'll be like, and so, I mean, why don't you come over here? And then she'll go towards the camera and stop it. Oh, who's the special boy?
Yes, he gets to go downstairs now more because Haggerty is a butthole. Oh, wow, what are you doing? All right, well, there you go. Cat butt.
Yep, hell yeah. You know what the people came for.
We're at 11 o'clock, and you're going to have a Doug descending upon you soon. Should we say we got going on this week?
Yeah, I just want to get it on the books. When are we going to sit down and brainstorm how we're going to handle this shit going forward, and what we're actually going to do, and what we're not going to do?
I would say we start the conversation the closest weekend after Extra Life as it makes sense for everybody's schedule. But I'm sure we'll also talk about it on our walks while we still have the weather to do so.
And even if we, here's another thing I want to get across. Even if we don't have the weather, we can still hang out.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I know that that's like Beard and I will always do that, but I know some people are like, ugh.
Oh no, for me it's more just I've been.
And your shit's logistics too, Matt. You drive a fucking long way.
Not that far, and it's more just like it's Anyway,
I think that I wouldn't mind doing it that Monday after Extra Life, and see if, honestly, I would like to see if Zach and Christy are also available.
Well, I kind of feel like Zach and Christy are doing their own shit, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to debrief about like what this meant. So maybe that's a different conversation, or maybe that's what happens at the end of Extra Life or something. I'm not sure. But
here's the thing we came up with like a few weekends ago.
Yeah.
I think this would be a fucking hoot.
Yeah.
We've talked about it for like 5 years.
Yeah.
I want this to come back once a month.
Yeah.
This was your idea, and I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Meet and greet. I think we've talked about this since we started podcasting.
Yeah.
And then I still think this would be fun as well.
Yeah.
Just finding, I mean, how fun would it be, in all honesty, to find a Pete match or a Chris Jordan match? It's just floating around on fucking YouTube. I mean, we'd have to get our feels out of the way ahead of time. But I think it would be, for me anyway, like one of the best feelings ever to call a fucking Pete match.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be an homage to the man, the myth, the legend. He was fucking great as to us as a person. But
Yeah.
before his injuries, he was really fucking good in the ring.
Yeah.
So I think doing some of that would be great. I'm not
Yeah.
sold on the name because sometimes I misname shit.
Yeah.
But I think, those things are things that we came up with on a Sunday morning.
Mhm.
So maybe we talk about stuff like this and what makes sense. And, like I said, hey, Shaggy and Spike, $1 a month on Patreon, is that, it doesn't sound like anything. Would that be something people you think you would do, or maybe even other people would do? Just let us know. Because I think if that's the only level we had as well, and the only reason we have $1 is because, you know what? Fucking StreamYard went up $20. It almost doubled. So any little bit we can use to cover some of that would be fucking amazing. It's kind of like when Dave was getting money from the source.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, what are you spending that on? Because I could use some paint. I don't think he spent most of that. I think it was just like, oh.
I think he did over time, but that whole thing was weird.
Yeah, I mean, that was super fucking cool.
Yeah.
I would love for us to have somebody who's like, yeah, here's $5 a month. Because $5 a month is basically a fourth of the cost of all that extra shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's just a charge, And I use Patreon. I fucking give money to people.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm giving Chris $5 a month. And I told him in our conversation, he may not get that $5 a month for a while. Do more shit. Yeah. And I can say it to him because, he has said we're friends. So,
yeah.
But I mean, I think even we can use that to be like, hey, you want us to do something? Give us a fucking idea. We can put polls on there. James is trying to get out of this conversation so fucking hard right now. And I love him for it. He's just like, yep.
He's worried about Doug.
He puts his wrist out and he's like, oh God, I got this thing at 11. I gotta go.
You're the one who told us Doug was going to be there at 11. So I was trying to be respectful.
He messaged at 10:45 that he was just leaving.
Okay. Well, how am I supposed to know that?
I'm giving you shit, man, because I love you and I know that, and the thing is we can use it for everything. Oh, I think that was him right there. Yep. I just saw his skinny ass body walk by.
All right.
I do have to go now. I love you both very much.
Chaos Scar this week, right?
Yes, I'm equally fond of the people in the chat. Chaos Scar tomorrow night. I think we're doing Maying on this Tuesday. It depends on Colin's schedule, and it is Spoop this Thursday.
Okay.
So
and I will be out next weekend. I'm going to be at a conference. So
I should be around. So whatever we got going. All right. Well,
you guys want to do anything during the week? Like maybe play a little bit of Prehistoric Minecraft? Let me know, because Doug did send me that new stuff. I would like to try it just to see how it's going to work. So, all right. Thank you guys.
Enjoy the dog. Say hey.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for helping.
Yes. Shaggy,
I'll find out that list so we can do final approval and get you all signed up.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.